Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to our continuing coverage of the 2015 ISBHF World Ball Hockey Championships from beautiful Zug, Switzerland. My name is Steve Power, and our matchup right now features Team Canada in red, going to tangle with Team Bermuda in white. A David versus Goliath matchup, so to say. The heavily favored Canadians will take on Bermuda. Bermuda coming off a very big, tough loss against Greece yesterday. And Team Canada opening their tournament yesterday with a win over the host squad from Switzerland. So Bermuda now sitting at 0-2, Canada at 1-0. Anthony Flores getting the call between the pipes today for Canada. And for Bermuda, Jan Leclerc is going to face a lot of orange blurs coming his way this afternoon. There's no doubt whatsoever. Just a reminder, anybody happens to be watching, wherever you may be in the world, you can reach out to me on Twitter at StevePowerNL. We'll be only too glad to get your comments on the air. Here's Canada early on, and they open the scoring right away into the game. It's Jonathan Daou. He dents the twine. No chance for Leclerc on that one. And Daou gets Canada on the board 50 seconds in. 1-0 Canada over Team Bermuda. From the draw, Tom Worthington-White goes back for Bermuda. Moves the ball up, giving chase into the neutral zone, and Nelson Vargas-Diaz has to go back for Team Canada. Vargas-Diaz moves the ball for Corbet. Corbet takes his time, looking to see what options are available. Corbet moves the ball up the floor to Dominic Morency. Morency back to Corbet. Corbet moves the ball over for Jordan Escott. Ball gets turned over in the neutral zone, and Chevet puts it down low for Bermuda. Ball gets wrapped out to the boards, and Poland picks it up for Bermuda. Here's a chance now. Morency picks it up for Team Canada. Morency got Escott in the neutral zone, elects to go with a far pass to the boards to Jeremy Brunet. Brunet, long drive. That goes wide, comes all the way out to the red line, and stopped by James Pasternak. Pasternak moves the ball across. That gets intercepted. Good back check there by Justin Kelly to stop a Bermuda scoring chance there. We're going to have a penalty call here, and Bermuda going to go to the penalty box, going to be body checking. And this is one thing, Bermuda just can't take penalties against this Team Canada squad. It's almost just as well they turn around and throw in their own net. So Canada goes to the power play. They're going to send out their power play unit of Kelly, Gustini, and Tremblett. Gustini, shooter over on the left side, big right-handed shot, loads up over there. They put Kelly on the other side. And the wily veteran Paul Roy is the man in charge of quarterbacking the back end. Here's Roy. Roy, nice pass to Tremblett. Tremblett sent in all alone. Tremblett shoots, scores. And easy as that, Canada goes up by 2. 2:35 in. And Canada strikes on the power play. Canada in red, Bermuda in white. All right, play continues. Team Canada And Jake Harrison checking in with us on Twitter saying it's going to be a goal fest for Canada. I feel for Bermuda. And Jake, as unbiased as I can try to be, I'm with you, big fella. It's going to be a tough day. I feel for Yann Leclerc. Hopefully the game doesn't get out of hand and the Canadians, something we talk about the mismatch in play, but Team Canada needs to get 10 goals. I mean, it does become a factor in a tie-breaking scenario. The most goals you can get in a plus-minus situation is 10. So it is important for Canada to get to that mark, I guess. It's just once you get there, you sort of hope to see maybe the foot come off the gas a little. Here's Canada now. Azevedo. Victor Azevedo. Added to the Team Canada lineup to replace the injured Patrick O'Keefe. Bermuda put the ball into Canadian territory. Team Canada going to stop, settle things down, and now initiate the breakout. Here's a pass to Simon Guerducci. Guerducci comes in all alone. Shot right on. Nice save there by Leclerc. And the referee's whistle goes to stop play. 4 minutes into this one, 2-0 Team Canada. Simon Guerducci steps in for the draw. Ball goes to the wall. Giving chase there by Canada. Roy, chance to keep it in, does so. And Dabity gives chase for Canada. Bermuda now put the ball deep in the Canadian end, and Stoico is going to get a chance to come away. Here's Stoico. Stoico up the side. Pass wasn't expected there by Guerducci. Ball gets turned over, and Bermuda now with a chance to clear. Bermuda get the ball out to the red line, but kept in by Stoico. Ball is out, the officials are signaling. And Team Canada, number 78 there, Matthew Duguay, a little late to the party, coming out of the zone. Now here's Vargas Diaz. Vargas Diaz, pass to the point for Stoico. Stoico, that shot misses wide. Duguay gets the ball. Duguay had Dabity open for 1 second, decided to go down low for Vargas Diaz. Here's Vargas Diaz, back to the point for Stoico. Stoico, that shot is blocked, and that bounces all the way back down to Canadian territory, and that'll allow Bermuda a wholesale line change. Vargas Diaz gains the blue line on the line pass from Stoico. Here's Pasternak. Pasternak to Morency. Morency settling things down, looking for ill-advised pass through the slot. Can't get to it. And ball comes around the board, cleared by Bermuda. And that's going to be interesting what that call is there. It's going to be flooring. And we'll see who the call is going to be. Looks like Bermuda going to go for body checking. And not quite sure about that call. The Canadian player looked to be the more aggressive one there. And just because the Canadian guy fell down, Bermuda going to go to the penalty box. So Canada get the benefit of the doubt on that one. Going to go to the power play, and that'll bring out Tremlett, Giustini, and Kelly. And Dow's going to take a position on the point with Roy. From the draw, here's Dow. Dow back for Roy. Roy moves the puck over, ball over for Giustini. Giustini looking for Kelly on the other side. Now he finds him. There it is. Shot, one-time attempt, just misses wide. Nice pass there from Giustini. Find the stick of Dustin Kelly. Here's Roy. Roy over for Kelly. Kelly shoots again, and this time finds the back of the net. It's Dustin Kelly on the one-time attempt. And Canada, with their second power play goal in as many tries, lead 3-0. Dustin Kelly on the one-timer. Puts Canada up by 3. Kelly's certainly going to be one of the more offensive players Canada are going to count on throughout this event as it goes on. Bermuda dumped the ball in deep. Corbet goes back for Canada.
Third goal for Canada. Scored by
Canada now come out of their own end. Ball gets dumped in, and Merritt has to go back for Bermuda. Bermuda turned the ball over, and away come Team Canada. Here's Kuzmarski. Kuzmarski got a player driving to the nets. Brunet. Kuzmarski. Kuzmarski spins off his check out in front to Brunet. Brunet spins away. No shot there. Over to the slot for Frechette. Frechette. He takes a shot. That one misses. Goes through to the corner. Parody. Out for Brunet. Big shot blocked there by the Bermudan player Coet. Here's Parody. One-time shot on the side. That one misses. Comes all the way around. Frechette now. Frechette trying to get the one-time pass again. Need to put a little bit more zip on that one. A long way for that pass to go. Ball comes back, and both teams going to make some changes. For Canada, Morancy, Vargas Diaz, and Escott come on the floor. Here comes Vargas Diaz. He's got Escott going to the net. Pass comes across. Ball doesn't quite get there. Chance for Bermuda to get the ball out, but Team Canada keep it in. Here's a shot from the point. That one's blocked. Bermuda opportunity here. Possible 2-on-1. And Canada lucky to keep that ball there, as Anthony Flores might have been looking up at a 2-on-0 breakaway for his first shot of the game. But instead, Team Canada come away with the ball. Carl Giarducci looks for Morancy. That pass bounces off his stick, and Bermuda put the ball behind the net. Flores is going to come out and tee it up for Giarducci. Giarducci to Morancy. Morancy finds Simon Giarducci. Giarducci can't get a shot off there. Canada completes a line change, and Loper puts the ball in deep for Bermuda. Going to be flooring, though, as Loper didn't have the red line. 8:24 gone into this first period. Team Canada lead by a score of 3-0. Face-off will be to the left of Jan Leclerc in the Bermuda goal. Referees didn't like how that face-off went down, so they'll do it all over again. And Simon Giarducci is going to be escorted from the face-off circle. That's going to bring Davide in to take the draw for Canada. Canada wins the face-off. Back to the point for Azevedo. Down low. Ball's worked out now. Giarducci has it. All Canadian defensemen swarming in the offensive zone. Back to the point. Shot from Wild. That doesn't get through. Hits a body, bounces away. Here's Duguay now. Duguay, he tries a wrist shot. That one's steered aside by Leclerc. And Bermuda now with a chance to clear. Loper under some pressure from Davide. Moves it around for Smith. Smith can't quite get it out. Kept in at the blue line by the Canadian defenseman. Here's a shot from the high slot. That one's blocked up into the netting. Face-off will stay inside. 9:07 left to go here in this, played in this first period. 5:53 left to go. Team Canada 3, Team Bermuda no score. You're watching coverage of the 2015 ISBHF World Ball Hockey Championships from Zug, Switzerland. Team Canada and Bermuda in this one. Tremblett back to the point. Here's a shot by Stoico. That one doesn't get through. Away comes Bermuda. Stoico has to go back and give chase, and he takes the ball in his own end. Stoico for Roy. Roy had Gastini cutting across the blue line, couldn't get there. Roy, long lead pass for Kelly. Kelly back for Stoico. Here's Stoico. Stoico up to the blue line, finds Roy. Here's Roy. Roy turns the ball over, gets it back. Here's Paul Roy now over for Stoico. Stoico for Roy. Roy now looking to set up a good shot. Nice pass into Kelly. Kelly fanned on that attempt, but a great feed from Roy. Roy keeps it in. We got a penalty call. Looks like Canada going to get one as Dort was tangled up with Kelly. Kelly's going to get a high sticking call, and Team Bermuda may get a little respite here and get their first power play opportunity of the hockey game. 5:03 left to go in the first period. Team Canada 3, Team Bermuda no score. Bermuda on the power play. Chance comes out front, and Canada managed to come away with the ball. That's Jeremy Parody. Moves it up for Frechette. Frechette back for Parody. Parody tries to get a step on the Bermuda defenseman. Can't do so, and now Bermuda gonna come away with the ball. Christopher Merritt puts the ball down low, and Canada get a stick on it, and they'll have a chance to clear and kill some time off the clock for this power play. Here's Chevis behind the net for Bermuda. Chevis moves the ball over for, I believe it's Merritt. Merritt back for Chevis and over to Cowett. Cowett on the point to Tremblay. Tremblay winds the shoot. Back to Cowett. Cowett, he's got a shot to lane. Cowett's shot, that one gets deflected. There's another shot, hits the Bermuda player in front, and Stoico a chance to move it up to Tremblay. Tremblay for Moranci, I believe, or Nelson Vargas Diaz, sorry. Vargas Diaz now leaves it for Tremblay. Canada on the attack, shorthanded. Tremblay protecting the ball on the wall. He's going to put it all the way down the floor to the defenseman. Stoico over for Roy. Roy. Back for Stoico. Stoico gently lifts it down the floor. 20 seconds remain in this Bermuda power play. Here comes Bermuda. Big number 18. Chris Coleman drives one that goes wide, but Bermuda take control of the ball. Bermuda now, penalty time is expiring. Team's now going to be at even strength as Kelly leaves the penalty box. Here's a shot from the point. That one gets deflected. Chance here for Bermuda. A broken clearing attempt. And Kalen Wild makes a smart play there, moves the ball to Pasternak, and the big defenseman from Saskatchewan moves the ball up the floor. Here's Canada on the rush. Shot in the slot area, that goes all the way through, doesn't hit the net. Pasternak jumps up, grabs the ball for the Canadians. Pasternak, he makes a cross-floor pass. Duguay comes off the bench, couldn't quite get to that one. And Azevedo, and it's going to be too many men here for Team Canada as player comes off the bench, plays the ball. So Bermuda right away going to go back to the power play with 2:22 left to go in this first period. Bermuda on the power play, down by 3. Team Canada 3, Bermuda no score. So Canada send number 91, Dominic Moranci, to the penalty box to serve the penalty. Comes back to the point. Shot attempt by Bermuda. That one gets deflected as Chris Coleman's shot goes high into the netting. Face off is going to be to the right of Anthony Flores. There's a shot on goal. And Flores, the Bermuda guys think they've scored a goal. And Flores opens up the leather lobster and says, "Look what I got, Mom. You ain't got nothing, big guy." Ball not in the net. Bermuda, premature celebration here, but I can't blame him. That'd be a big thing. Anthony Flores, his first shot was a tricky one, and he holds on. Face off, Roy, chance to clear for Canada. Puts it around the boards, can't get it all the way out. And Bermuda will settle down on this power play now. Here's Bermuda. Guthrow He elects to shoot. Guthrow right into the trapper of Flores, and Flores looks sharp, not tested much, but looking sharp early on here. 1:53 left in this first period. 1:32 still to go in the Bermuda power play. And Bermuda looking to get on the board. Tremblett digs in for the face-off against Poland. Face-off won by Canada. That's going to get dumped all the way down the floor, and Leclerc comes out to tee it up for his defenseman, Tom Worthington-White. Bermuda now gingerly come up the floor, looking for a dump in. And Poland's going to get to that ball first before Tremblett. Tremblett, good battle down low with Poland. Poland steps out, second chance attempt, rebound. Bermuda shoots, they score! And Bermuda on the power play, it's Tony Dorff. And he's the beneficiary of some great work by Cameron Poland. And Bermuda, I bet you a lot of people wouldn't have picked that to happen. Team Bermuda on the power play, get on the board, and they're down by a score of 3-1 here in the first period. Shot of the Bermuda coaches on the benches. Just as an aside, by far, best team uniform for off-floor apparel. It's got to be Bermuda, walking around in the navy blue blazers, blue shorts, and socks with dress shoes. I think it looks really sharp. Canada now looking for a quick answer after that. Bermuda trying to find some life and feed off that goal. Nice goal, too. And the great work from Poland down low. Canada now out front. Here's a shot. That one goes over the glass from Escott. Sorry, Kuzmarski just misses. Goaltender holds on. Both teams going to make some changes now in the final minute play of the period. 3-1 Canada. Just a reminder, folks, you can reach out to us on Twitter. Get a hold of me at StevePowerNL. You want to get your comments on the air. From the draw, Bermuda win the faceoff. Ball gets cleared up to Tremblay on the board. Tremblay can't get it out. Comes back in, and Coleman's going to get a chance to bring it out for Bermuda. Coleman brings it down, and Brunet moves it up for Canada. And here comes another penalty call. Bermuda going to go to the penalty box as Duguay was upended with a body check at the blue line from Bermuda, and Canada will go to the power play. Only 33 seconds left in this period. But Team Canada once again go to the power play, and this time they're going to try the line of Vargas Diaz, Morancy, and Kuzmarski. Kuzmarski with a huge game yesterday against the Poles with a 4-point effort. The Poles, the Swiss. Jody Vaughn checking in again. Yay, Bermuda, Jody. Yep, they got a nice goal there. And Jody supporting Bermuda as her team gets on the board. And I'm from Canada. I'm probably pro-Canada, but I like seeing them score too, Jody, so that's great. Good to see. Canada now on the power play. Here's Morancy. Morancy back to the point for Brunet. Brunet moves it down to the right side. Down low for Morancy. Frechette looks to step into the back door. Back to Brunet. Brunet, he's going to try a shot, rebound. Nothing there. Hit the goaltender in the mask, so that'll bring the quick whistle. 11 seconds left. Kuzmarski wondering why the whistle went. Boys telling him that if it hits the goalie in the mask, it's an automatic whistle. Face-off will be to the right of Leclerc. 11 seconds left. Canada on the power play. From the draw. Good job by the Bermudans to win that face-off. Tom Worthington-White going to move the ball. And hopefully that'll kill off the rest of the period as the buzzer goes after one period of play. Team Canada 3, Team Bermuda 1. You're watching coverage of the 2015 ISBHF World Ball Hockey Championships. We'll be back for the call of the second period. All right, folks, back for the second period. Team Canada going to start this one on the power play. And here's a chance here right off the bat. Nelson Vargas Diaz got sent in all alone. But Jan Leclerc shut the wickets. and wouldn't let the ball squeak through. Here's a play now, face-off win by Bermuda. Ball gets sent down the floor. Flores chips it up for Brunet. Brunet gingerly steps over the red line, looks to get the ball through, does so. Vargas Diaz takes it, moves it for Moranci, and back for Brunet. Brunet for Moranci. Need to set up a left-handed shot on this side for the one-timer, and now they do so. Kuzmarski behind the net. Leaves it back out for Kuzmarski. Shoots, scores. Ray Cook is the winner on the over-under. And Team Canada on the power play go ahead by a score of 4-1. Third power play goal in the match for Team Canada, as Canada on the power play simply lethal at this level. Bermuda want any hope at all to stay in this one. They can't go into the penalty box against this Canadian squad. From the draw now, teams at even strength. Here's Coleman. Coleman chips the ball into the neutral zone. Bermuda put the ball in deep, and Tremblett has to come back for Canada. Tremblett chips the ball up for Kelly. Kelly over the line to Gastini. Gastini settles things down, wait for his mates to come on board. Here's Tremblett at the point. There's a long drive. That one goes wide. Penalty call coming up once again, and it's going to be Bermuda again. And Team Bermuda going to go to the penalty box. Call this time going to be hooking. This referee's going to have to go for rotator cuff surgery when this is over from his arm going up and down. Bermuda into the sin bin again, and Canada goes on to power play. 1:15 into the period. Tremblett digs in for the face-off for Canada. Tremblett, Kelly, and Giustini on the floor for Canada. Paul Roy in the point now, slowing things down. Roy over for Giustini. Back for Roy. Roy looking to load up Justin Kelly on this side. Big drive on the other side of the floor. Canada now has got Frechette open in front of the net. Here's Roy. Roy winds, shoots. No deflection there. Tremblett was in front of the net and steered aside by the goaltender Leclerc. Team Canada walk off the wall all the way to the slot. Shoots, scores! Frankie Giustini pots his second of the matchup, and Canada once again strike on the power play and go up by a score of 5-1. Team Canada now right back to the attack. Giarducci moves the ball across. Canada opening up a 4-goal lead here early in the second period. Stoico is going to go back and give chase for Canada now. Here's the big running Stoico. Stoico, nice pass, finds Giarducci. Shot right on, and Leclerc steers that one aside. Back to the point for Corbeil. Corbeil into the high slot, finding Giarducci. Giarducci moves it over for Dabity, shoots, and they score. And Canada, just like that, hot number 6 of the game. And Jody, it might be a long afternoon for your Bermuda boys here. Habs fan 27-31 checked in me. I'm a little slow here this morning, Habs fan. 3-1 after the first. Canada doesn't look as sharp as yesterday in Habs fans' opinion. Truly not showing Bermuda much respect. And a lot of power play goals indeed. And that was the first one, 5-on-5 just in. So maybe Canada just hitting their stride now. And once again, it's a tough game to play for both of these teams. We talk about Bermuda, and they're up against it for sure. But mentally, you know, Team Canada, what do you do here? it's one of these ones you almost know you're going to win. You don't want to embarrass your opposition, but yet you can't get into bad habits. You need to play well. Here's Escott pass to Wild in the slot. So it's a little tough on both ends, and I think the Canadian coaching staff are going to do a good job and make sure the boys are ready. As no doubt tomorrow's game for Canada versus Greece will be a much tougher affair. Here's Wild now. Wild moves the ball down low for Escott. Escott down below the goal line. Canada with great ball movement here. Wild out in the slot, moves it back. Canada throwing the ball around like they own it. Vargas Diaz from Moranci. Moranci back to the point for Wild. Wild mishandles that pass, needs to put it back down for Moranci. Back to Wild. Wild from Moranci, back to the point for Azevedo. Azevedo over for Vargas Diaz. I need Team Canada to have more one-syllable names. Team Canada finally give the ball up, and Tom Worthington-White takes over for Bermuda. Worthington-White jogs up the floor with the ball, cross corner dump, sends it in for Loper. Loper can't quite get to it. It'll be offsides is the call. 3:47 gone in this second period. And Canada up by 5. Habs 27-31 checking in, saying Canada must have clearly read his tweets at the intermission. Now flying in the second. Yeah, maybe you've got the direct line to Matt LeBrun or Sandro Morello's phone out in there, Habs fan. And if you do, good on you, because they must have got the message. So, Canada, here's Pasternak. Moves the ball down low. Canada in front of the net. There's a pass out front. Shoots, scores. Nice pass there. And Jeremy Parody, all he had to do was put his stick on that one. And Canada notches their 7th of the game. And I can tell you one thing from my end, folks. In these 2 games here this morning, not halfway through them, we've got a total of 18 goals scored. And I think the host committee's got to change the song. Every time a goal is scored, the same song comes on. Hashtag gonna be worn out. Team Canada in the proverbial driver's seat, up by 7. And in control. Special shout out to Laurie O'Keefe, online back in Mount Pearl, Newfoundland. Great volunteer in the sports world back in Newfoundland, Labrador. Looking to probably hear Patrick join me in the broadcast booth again. Right now, I tell you what, I'd take anybody in the broadcast booth with me now. These games are tough. But Bermuda, I gotta say, still working hard. Very, very proud bunch of players down there, and they're having a good time at this event. Talked to a few of the guys last night. Glad to be here. Up in the A pool, tough sledding to move from the B pool to the A pool, but the Bermudans, game competitors. Canada with control. Here's Kelly. Kelly down low for Tremblett. Tremblett out into the slot. Giustini, in a rare occasion, fans on one in the slot. That's normally not like Giustini. Stoico gloved the ball up, but Kelly picked it up, so gloved ahead pass. Referees quick to catch that one. Face-off is going to be at center. 5:28 gone into this second period. Canada up by a score of 7-1. Play continues. Bermuda knife the ball into the neutral zone. Merritt can't get a stick on that one. Tremblett comes in. Kelly backdoor pass for Giustini. And Team Canada certainly hitting a little bit of a stride now. Giustini out in the slot. And Tremblett came in. Big smile on his face. Sorry, that was Brunet. As he wired one over the top of the net. Face-off will be in outside the Bermuda blue line. Ball went out of play, never hit any. Cowett digs in for the face-off for Bermuda. Moranci now gives chase down low. The diminutive Dominic Moranci loses that battle. Ball comes all the way down, and Brunet is going to give back chase for Canada. Brunet turns one over there. Quick shot by the Bermuda player, Cowett. And Flores had to be careful with that one. There's a long pass here. Vargas Diaz going to net. He's sent in alone. Vargas Diaz to Escott. Nice pass there to Vargas Diaz. And I don't mean to get excited about the 8th goal of the hockey game, but that was some pass. The initial pass Escott got from Vargas Diaz was good, but the one he gave back was even better. And this might be bad news for the rest of the world, as Canada is showing another line besides the Gastini line starting to click, as Escott, Vargas Diaz, and Moranci might be a force to be reckoned with. So, Team Canada notches its 8th of the game. Gonna come back with Kuzmarski, Parody, and Frechette. And all those names I just mentioned, I never even mentioned Kevin Kuzmarski, who had 4 points yesterday. Wow. Here's a chance for Bermuda. Runs in, couldn't get the shot on goal. That was Sebastian F. Robson. Couldn't get it there. Has it on his stick again. Gonna dump it in. Stopped at the blue line by Stoico. Cal Wild now. Wild moving the ball up the floor, and another power play going to be coming up to Canada.
8th goal.
Anthony Flores makes the long run from the Canadian goal to the bench. Daou comes off the boards for Canada. Canada now with 6 attackers on net, net empty. Goaltender Bull, Parody to Wild. Wild under some pressure out top, decides to go down low for Kuzmarski. Kuzmarski works the ball down low, comes back to Kuzmarski. Kuzmarski on the point, and there's the turnover the Bermudans are looking for. But Bermuda at the halfway point of the second period going to get a penalty for tripping Canada on the power play.
Penalty for Bermuda player number 42, Worthington White.
Team Canada now on the power play, and they send their number 1 unit of Tremblett, Giustini, and Kelly. On the floor, Bermuda managed to get the ball out, and the face-off will come outside early in this Canadian power play opportunity. From the draw, Dustin Kelly takes the ball down low for Canada. Kelly moves the ball out for Roy. Roy for Daou. Here's Roy. Roy's got Giustini waiting over the other side. Kelly, cross-floor pass for Giustini. Can't get a hold of that one. Tremblett doing a great job in front of the net. Canada trying to thread the needle. Here's Roy. Roy with a bomb from out top. That one misses the net. Bounces back to Giustini. Roy for Giustini. Giustini threatens to shoot, finds Kelly on the side. Here's Kelly. Didn't release it quick enough. Kelly back to the point for Roy. Roy to Giustini. Giustini winds, shoots. That one's deflected. Bounces over to the stick of Dustin Kelly. Over backdoor to Giustini. And too much, too soon. Team Canada on the power play with their 5th power play goal of this contest, I believe. I stand to be corrected. 8:29 gone into the second period, 9-1, Team Canada. Here's Stoiko now. Stoiko up over the blue line for Canada. Back for Duguay. Duguay leaves it for Stoiko. Stoiko back to the point for Corbet. Corbet now out by the red line. Corbet moves it down. Canadian player threatened to shoot. Moves it back for Corbet. Davidi over to the other side now. Duguay. Duguay.
Ninth goal for Canada. Scored by number
Here's
19.
Duguay on the half boards. He takes a wrist shot. Big rebound there. Corbet is going to run a mile to come get that one.
Number 89.
Corbet for Davidi.
Time 23:29.
Back out to the point now. Duguay down low for Giarducci. Here's a chance in the high slot. Shot right on. Another save. Leclerc, 2 saves, 3 saves by Leclerc. Great goaltending there by the Bermuda goalie. Keeping that one out. Here's Carl Giarducci. Big shot right on. Another shot save. Jan Leclerc just made about 7 saves in the last 10 seconds. Carl Giarducci now. Giarducci settling things down. Takes a shot high into the scoop, and Leclerc will hold on to that one and take a break. Face-off is going to be to the left of Jan Leclerc in the Bermuda goal. Face-off won by the Canadians. Here's Carl Giarducci, the eldest of the Giarducci brothers, Carl and Simon. Vargas Diaz now out on the floor with Morancy and Escott. Back to the point. Giarducci winds, fires. That one comes off the boards. Giarducci steps up to keep it in. Morancy. Morancy. Backdoor pass for Escott. Escott looks for Vargas Diaz. Vargas Diaz. He steps in, looking for Morancy on the other side. Morancy does pick up the pass off the wall. Down below the net to Escott. Escott to Morancy. Morancy looking for Vargas Diaz in the Scott. Finds Escott in behind. Escott. Nothing happening there. Out for Morancy. Morancy on his forehand. Down for Escott. Nice pass there to Giarducci. Shot right on. And another penalty coming to Bermuda. And I guess it's just because Canada has possession so much. Bermuda just can't get the ball. So a cross-checking call. And the Escott, Morancy, and Vargas Diaz line taking the ball like they own it that shift. Giarducci jumping up from the point for some opportunities. And Team Canada send out the big guns again on the power play. It's Kelly, Gustini, and Tremblett.
Bermuda player number 91, throw iron for cross-check. Time 26:07.
So Team Canada on the power play, where they've been nothing short but lethal. Here's Gustini. Little different look on the defense end. Is Azevedo and Wild going to get a look on this power play? And frankly, the defensemen, all they got to do is get it up to Gustini or Kelly, and it's going in the net. Tremblett does the tough work down low on this power play. And Carolyn Merritt's going to check in with us. Shout out to number 10, Chris Merritt of Bermuda, from wife and daughter, Ava. Chris Merritt working hard, doing his best for the Bermuda team. Merritt, one of the better Bermuda players, actually. And they're in tough here this morning against Team Canada. Canada on the power play, and it seems like they've been on the power play a lot this game. Here's Azevedo. Azevedo for Wild. Wild. Back to Azevedo. Quick ball movement there. Here's a shot high off the glass. And that one gets rattled out, and Wild's going to settle things down there. Wild, another pass. Giustini, nice save there by Jan Leclerc. Ball down low. Giustini looking for Kelly. Wild goes in to help out. Back to Azevedo. Here's Wild. To Azevedo. Azevedo, Giustini. Giustini fires, shoots. And there's another goal as Dustin Kelly picks up the garbage in front and takes out the trash. Team Canada hits double digits with 2:25 left to go in this second period. So the ball makes its way down into Canadian territory momentarily. Team Canada now puts it out. Here's a chance for Canada. Here's Dow. Dow, backhand pass and a wide open cage there. Sorry, that was Duguay. Duguay sends it over to, looks like possibly Vargas Diaz. Gonna hit the number there. No, it was Moranci. And Moranci finishes one off. Different look to a line now. Now we're looking at maybe Coach LeBrun trying to play with some combinations here. We look at Vargas Diaz going to center Kuzmarski and Frechette. So Team Canada up by 10. Stoico into the neutral zone. With the ball for Kuzmarski. Kuzmarski and Bermuda not even trying to attack. No power play here. Bermuda just sitting back and waiting for some kind of turnover. Stoico for Vargas Diaz. Vargas Diaz to Kuzmarski. Kuzmarski back for Stoico. Stoico down to the other side for his defensive partner. Corbet. Frechette looking dangerously in the slot. Here's Vargas Diaz. Vargas Diaz for Kuzmarski. Kuzmarski looking for Frechette in the slot. Here's Frechette on the backhand. He misses on the short side. Vargas Diaz for Frechette. Frechette, short side, block save by Leclerc.
There's 1 minute left in the second period.
Kuzmarski now under some pressure. Kuzmarski walks away with that one. Puts the ball back out to Stoico. Ball sent down the other side. Canadian defenseman Corbet. Here's Kuzmarski. Kuzmarski fakes the pass. Leclerc, nice pad save there. And Bermuda does indeed clear the ball down the floor. Here comes Stoico. Stoico overhandles that one a little, but does indeed gain the blue line. Stoico trying to do a little bit too much there. I guess you can afford to do that when the score's like this. Canada now the final 20 seconds of this period. Here's Bermuda. Bermuda with an opportunity here. And that one gets turned away quickly as Team Canada come back. Ball comes up the wall now. Dying seconds of the second period. And Team Canada, so to say, really bring it in the second period. Score 3-1 after the first. In Canada with 8 unanswered goals that period. And going to take an 11-1 lead after 2. You're watching coverage.
For Bermuda, instead of number 30, Leclerc Young plays now goalkeeper with number 22.
Back for the call of the third period here. And just checking in on Twitter, Lee MacArthur checking in with me and correcting me, saying the Bermuda goal scored by Troy Dort, not a Tony. So I will correct that and apologize to Troy. That being said, Lee, the official roster sheet that I've been given has him down as number 26, Tony Dort. So I'm going to change that on my end so I don't make that same mistake twice. Can't promise it now all the same because I do make mistakes. But I have it changed. So now he will be Troy Dort from here on in. Thanks for checking in. Let me know. Canada early in the third period scoring the power play. And it looks like it was Dustin Kelly once again. So, Mr. Kelly, that's probably enough for you today. You got your hat trick. You should take a seat down. That's enough of that.
12th goal for Team Canada, scored by number 91, Morenzi Dominic, assisted by number 89, Kelly Justin. Time 30:39.
So Canada in control here early in the third period. They have possession in Bermuda territory. Back to the point, Pasternak. He takes a shot, intercepted there by Bermuda. Chance for the Bermudans to come away. Ball gets dumped back in. Miller, Tom Miller, gives chase up for Loper. Here comes Bermuda now. A one-on-one opportunity, Talbot. Talbot shovels it to the net. Flores going to chip it aside. Nice run there by Talbot. But Team Canada take over. Harady. He's going to stop and settle things down. The Canadian forwards make a change. And we're seeing all kinds of different combinations now. Now we're going to see Dustin Kelly with Frechette and Kuzmarski. Long pass for Stoico. Stoico brings it down low, kicks it back out for Corbet. Corbet over to Kelly. Kelly's got 3 goals in this game. Here's Kelly. Down low for Frechette. Sorry for Kuzmarski. Back for Kelly. Kelly. Kuzmarski, Canada keeping the ball on the outside. Bermuda doing a pretty good job here, shutting down the box. Corbet stepping in. Looking for a backdoor pass, comes back and Stoico keeps that one on the line. Here's Stoico. Stoico. Down low, big shot there by Kuzmarski. That one's blocked by the big defensive number 77, Adam Smith from Bermuda. Ball comes out to Corbet, over to Stoico. Stoico looking for Kuzmarski in the high slot. Ball's kept in by Stoico. Stoico dangerously out around that red line with the ball. Here's Stoico. Stoico shot, that whistle's wide. Canadian player into the crease. Crease violation call. Face-off will be outside. 3:32 into the third period. Bermuda now with some pressure into Canadian territory. Got the ball deep, couldn't keep it there though, and Escott comes away for Canada. Escott taps the ball in deep, and Duguay takes it. Duguay had Acevedo sneaking down the left side, couldn't get it to him. And Canada will just take the ball along the boards, work it back out to the point. Acevedo out to Carl Giarducci. Giarducci. Pass misses. Duguay. Bermuda, Poland has a chance to care. Here's Duguay now. Duguay for Canada. Nice pass out to the slot, and that's number 10, Stefan Davidi. He fires one top shelf, and the Canadians score again. Nice goal by Davidi and a second attempt by Duguay with the sweet feed. And Davidi puts one by. Canada now back behind their own net. Bermuda sending 2 forecheckers in. Tell you what, these Bermudans, they want to get another one. They're not going to let the scoreboard stop them. They go undaunted. Coleman fights for the ball along the wall. Coleman makes the play, gets it out. We're going to have a penalty call here. Not sure who it's to. Looks like it's going to be to Canada. And Carl Giarducci is going to get the box for hooking, it seems. Yep. 2 for Giarducci for hooking, so Bermuda gonna get a chance to go on the power play. Face-off is gonna be to the right of Canadian goaltender Anthony Flores. Canada wins the draw.
2 minutes penalty for Canada player number 44, Giarducci Carlo, for hooking. Time 35-30.
Bermuda now on the power play. Can't get much going as Tom Worthington White has to go back and get that ball. Still lots of time left for the Bermudans. Get things going here. Bermuda get the ball down low, but stolen by Nelson Vargas Diaz. Corbet finds Vargas Diaz. Bermuda has to be respectful of the skill and the speed of Nelson Vargas Diaz, one of the premier penalty killers in this event. Here's Vargas Diaz down low, and he just gets crunched by Tom Worthington White there. Probably a good non-call by the official. Vargas Diaz, smaller in stature and a little off balance, so it probably looked a lot worse than what it was. And Worthington White takes it slowly to the bench, just leaves it by the bench, and Coleman steps out and takes it from the bench. Coleman mishandled that pass, but he did get it to his teammate. Blocked by Escott now. I'm sorry, that's Simon Giarducci, the younger of the Giarducci brothers. And Simon does a good job to get that one out. Ball into Canadian territory now. Chance for Canada to clear, and they do so. And Coleman's going to have to go all the way back to give retreat. Coleman now 10 seconds remaining in the Canada penalty. One more chance for Bermuda. Cowett looks to take a long shot, can't get it there, and we're going to have another penalty call. No, it's going to be offsides is the call. Offsides. Penalty's over. Halfway through this third period, Team Canada with their button firmly pushed on the cruise control panel, up by a score of 13-1. from the draw. Bermuda still going hard. God, I gotta give these guys credit. They're really running hard every shift. Team Canada now coming away with the ball. Here's Escott. Escott looking for Dabity. Dabity back to the point for Wild. Wild fakes the shot, looks for Dabity back in the high slot, can't find him. And away comes Bermuda. Bermuda dumped the ball down deep. Azevedo goes back to get it. Azevedo turns it over. Caillouette, nice backhand pass. And Flores has to make a good save there. As what a beautiful backhand pass sent Jace Cowan in all alone. Cowan couldn't beat the poke check of Anthony Flores. Here's Duguay. Duguay finds Dabity. Dabity gives chase behind the net. Canada changed some defense as Carl Giarducci comes out to take that one. Giarducci for Dabity. Dabity off over the boards. There's a long shot. That one misses wide. And the ball stays in for Canada. Here are the Canadians. Wrist shot there right on. And Leclerc holds on that one. It squeaks through, but the whistle blows. 8:58 gone in the third period. Canada in control. Face off to the right again, Leclerc. Leclerc comes out and knocks that one down himself. Bermuda tried to get the ball out, but kept in by Pasternak at the point. Here's a big drive on the other side. Frechette goes down low for Canada. Kuzmarski looks for Daou. Ball kept in at the red line by Giarducci. Giarducci winds, fires, and Leclerc steers that one high into the glass. Both teams going to make wholesale changes here now. Face off going to be to the left of Jan Leclerc. Here's the draw, Bermuda, Worthington White. Chance to clear, finds the stick of Moranci though for Canada. Out in the slot, there's Moranci. Nice save there by Leclerc coming across. Not quite sure he knew he'd have it, but he did indeed get the pad on it. Courtney Dort checking in, saying go Team Bermuda. Troy Dort goal, hashtag Troy Dort goal. Yeah, I love it. So it was. Thanks for checking in, Courtney. And the Bermudans certainly not backing down and giving it their best. Here comes Canada once again on the backhand. Canadian player misses on the short side. Moranci behind the net. Showing good patience with the ball, puts it back to the point. Here's Stoico with the drive. That one misses. Moranci settling things down again in the slot area. Moranci found Kelly. And Kelly looking for goal number 4 here. Canada into the last 5 minutes now of this third period. In control, looking to run this one out and refocus on their next opponent, which will be Team Greece. And that should be a decent matchup. And just checking in here with our website, not sure who Bermuda's next opponent is. Got to try to look it up. And having some technical difficulties, and maybe one of my Bermuda friends can let me know. Here's Dabity over the blue line. Dabity, wrist shot. That one goes wide. Simon Giarducci down low for Dabity. Dabity to Escott. Escott back for Dabity. Dabity down low for Escott. Escott. He comes around the wall. Nice pass there for Carl Giarducci. Shot. That one gets deflected up over the net. And Leclerc holds on. Here's Canada, big drive right off the face-off by Giarducci. Pasternak knocks that one down, stays in, and Bermuda now with a chance. They put the ball deep into Canadian territory. Flores comes out to play that ball. Giustini, long pass for Tremblett. Tremblett finds big number 98, Daou. Daou couldn't finish that one off. Play goes down low. Here's Daou. Daou for Giustini. Giustini to Daou. Leclerc going to drop down on that one. 3 minutes remain in this third period. Canada in control. Just checking in on the schedule here now. Finally got it up and going here. Looks like Team Bermuda's next game not getting any easier for the Bermudans. They're going to get the Czech Republic tomorrow. And they're going to play at, looks like 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon for Bermuda. Like I say, Canada will tangle with Greece then at 5:30. Canada just notch another goal. Just over 2 minutes left to play here. And Loper puts the ball in for Bermuda, but they're going to drop the ball again and do it again at center ice.
There are 2 minutes left in the third period.
Bermuda get the ball down in Canadian territory. There's a chance there. Two players bang into each other. Official tells them it's okay, play on. Canada now, they've got a 2 or 3-on-1 developing here. Shot misses wide.
Canada scoring by number 2, Victor, assisted by number 78, Dubois, Mathieu, and number 72, Escott Jordan. Time.
There's a shot right on. Nice save by Leclerc there. Leclerc's been tested. I tell you what, you can't really blame their goaltender, Jan Leclerc. He's made some nice saves, and there's a shot there. And Kelly pots another one. Canada scores again. From the draw at center ice, Kuzmarski puts the ball out for Corbet. And the clock's gonna tick down this one. We're in the last minute of play. Bermuda trying to make something happen. They're going to draw a penalty here. The Bermudans, good hustle there by number 10, Christopher Merritt. Real nice hustle there. Draws the penalty for Canada. So Bermuda going to finish this game on the power play. And they'd love to get another one here.
15th goal for Canada.
And just being pointed out by Hadfan, 27-31, pointing out to me that Bermuda changed their goalie. You know something? It does matter. I should catch those things like that. So thanks for pointing it out to me. Looks like Dave McPhee been in for the third period, and Mr. McPhee's done a decent job. Say it's tough being the goalie in these games. So thanks for checking in. Let me know that, as I am here in the last 35 seconds of the game. But it's good to acknowledge Mr. McPhee for his work down in the Bermuda goal. Giarducci. Ball up for Canada. They're just going to put the ball down the floor. Final 10 seconds of this one. So Team Canada get the job done, do what they've got to do. And Bermuda keep on trucking. Fairly clean hockey game. Lots of penalties, but nothing of the hard variety. So Bermuda will lick their wounds and live to fight another day. And Canada look forward to their next matchup versus Team Greece. Final score, Canada 15, Bermuda 1. You've been watching coverage of the 2015 ISBHF World Ball Hockey Championships. I'm Steve Power. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back with coverage of our next game at 2:30.